Hello and welcome, this is Power Level section, ladies and gents, regarding One Piece. Yes, I'm gonna have 12 full characters to justify here, and those 12 characters gonna finish off my power level section till end of Impel Down. There will be still couple of characters which I am not able to justify, like Rayleigh, like Boa Hancock. Let me just quickly check. Inazuma even. Let me know in a comment if you actually can justify it, Inazuma, based on my rules level. That would be really beneficial. Also, I have Shiryu, but Shiryu doesn't, take any action here really, just slaying some of the prisoners. I'm not gonna give him 400 plus strength. I could, yes, but I think when Shiryu was comparable to Magellan level, that's all what I know, and Magellan will have, I can spoil you right now, over 10,000 strength for sure. So for Shiryu having at least 400, come on, that's kind of obvious, and I don't want to, scale in between characters who having those 400 strength, so I'm gonna skip him as well, unless you guys will have another brilliant ideas, because I know you guys having a brilliant ideas how to justify those characters. So anything in a comment, I'm super thankful. Damn, it's so hot here. In London, it's really hot recently. Whew. So, let me remind you the rules. About the rules what we're having here. So, basically, we're having a 3 rules which we judging all of our characters' strength. Which, first of all, is if a character can win with another character within one punch, that means the character is twice stronger. If the character can win a fight without fighting seriously, one punch or not, he is 10 times stronger. And if the character can win with a one punch and at the same time not fighting seriously, he's 20 times stronger. In case when we cannot apply any of the rules but the fight is concluded, the winner's minimum strength is gonna be either maximum, minimum or average strength of the guy who lose the fight. It all depends how much wounded is the winner. Let's go back to video now. Alright, so I'm gonna start with 3 characters on request. So if you have some requests for the characters and you can help me out also with those characters, because otherwise it's gonna be really hard for me, I will do my best to fit them in. So any request in a comment section below, that's all. Out of those 3, I'm gonna have Laki, one of the Shandian, I don't know if she's even officer, it was definitely in the invading squad, right? She's definitely in love with Viper, that's what I know. And then we're gonna have Nefertari Vivi update, if you like to call it, in relation to her incident with Mr. 7. So there you go, Mr. 7 and Miss Fathersday, because I'm treating them super equal, gonna be next. Laki, actually, I don't know why I skipped that. It's fairly easy. Thank you for commenting on requesting. It's gonna be a big improvement. In case of her minimum strength, when Priest reciprocate on all of the Shandians attacking him, at that point, he didn't knock Laki out with a one shot, and he was using his main weapon, he was using his mantra. I'm gonna say he was fighting seriously. Means cannot beat Laki with a one punch fighting seriously. And Priest we having 268 strength, kind of low, but level of threat is based off his mantra, not really his physical power. That's why his physical power is quite lower. The mantra is really, really deadly. So yeah, 268 divided by 2, because Laki was still standing, which gives her minimum strength as 134. In case of her maximum strength, just before that happened, just before the Priest she was attacking Holy. And Holy's strength is 98, and she couldn't beat Holy with a one punch. Same rule, so she is not twice stronger than Holy. And Holy is 98 times 2, 196. Right? Overall, Laki is, ladies and gents, 165 strength, and such a coincidence because all the information was taken from episode 165. That's an Easter egg for ya. Okay, next character is Nefertari Vivi. Previous strength was, as you can see below, is 13 when with a range of 10 of 15, and there was on request update for her strength being that she defeated Mr. 7 and Miss Fathersday technically with one punch, which, yes, I have to agree for that. And Mr. 7 and Miss Fathersday was set up as strength of 55. I was giving a really big thought about that. I was even thinking about decreasing Mr. 7's strength just to fit for the Vivi. And then I think to myself, hey, how these sharpshooters actually work in One Piece? Because we have so many, we're having so many examples of sharpshooter, like Van Ogre from Blackbeard, like Usopp, like Yasop, and Daddy the Parent. There is probably many more, and Usopp compared to another sharpshooters have actually high endurance, which is mainly because of plot armor. Don't make me wrong, I think Usopp's resilience is a plot armor, that's it. However, in case of strength for sharpshooters, I will be calculating their damage output. Means how much damage they can inflict to people, right? Not how well they defending. That's what I'm doing, because I'm basing the strength. I know how well is defending. There is also one crucial thing, which is physicality, very important thing for how well defending. In case of the damage output, okay, it's including weapon, it's including skill and strength. And that's what I'm actually combining, because I want damage output. And damage output will be their capability of shooting. Simply by beating Mr. 7, Mr. 7 endurance is extremely low, same as Miss Fathersday. Where I'm going here, Vivi can win with a Mr. 7 because Mr. 7 endurance will probably weaker than average pirate, and as we can see will probably strength of 6 for his defenses. However, his offenses was actually a pretty decent blow to Zoro that he felt it, the shoot, even the Pell felt it. So that means their attack is not that weak. My final words would be that Nefertari Vivi remains at strength of 13 and Mr. 7 remains at strength of 55, though Vivi, as we can see, we're having the solid proof, can win with a Mr. 7. Because to beat Mr. 7, you don't need high damage to win the fight. I don't know if that's alright, if I'm not gonna be super controversial here, but I don't want to spend too much time. We still have 9 more characters to justify. So, Mr. 7 and Miss Fathersday, as well as Nefertari Vivi, remaining the same. If you agree or disagree with my justification, again, let me in a comment, maybe we can work it out something for the next power level section. The next package of 3 is gonna be the Demon Guards as a group, so basically I'm gonna treat this Koala, Zebra and the last one as one group of the same strength. Next, I'm gonna follow Crocodile if there's any possible update for Crocodile after the Impel Down incident. And then finally, I'm gonna focus on Hannyabal. You know who. And yeah, let's start. So, Demon Guards, basically speaking, are, in my opinion, extremely similar strength to Minotaurus, who is also a Demon Guard. Got so much screen time, so much talking compared to another Demon Guard that I'm gonna treat him as the superior Demon Guard. And we know exactly the strength of a Minotaurus, which is 2025. So I'm gonna treat all other characters, all other Demon Guards as 2000 strength. Those 25 I will just give the superiority to Minotaurus. And that's it, case closed. Next is Crocodile, who was set up strength as 11,530. And what was Crocodile's feat, what he accomplished in an Impel Down? A part of beating one of the Demon Guard with a one-punch serious attack, which will be fitting because that gives him minimum strength of 4,000 because he is at least twice stronger than minimum strength, but his minimum strength is already higher than that. And in case of the other accomplishment, okay, he he conquered the whole Navy ship, but there was nobody significant there. So, in this point, you know, as for your curiosity, Crocodile remained the same. no one. Now, Hannyabal, you say it, you name it. He was having a few fights, to be honest, in the Impel Down with a Mr. 2, but I do believe with Mr. 2, I'm not so sure how to treat his strength because he was attacking Mr. 2. However, he wasn't using his main weapon, which means he was attacking while not fighting seriously. And Mr. 2 was able to dodge. He couldn't beat Mr. 2 with a one punch, not fighting seriously, means he is not 20 times stronger than Mr. 2, which Mr. 2 is 510, that gives 10, he is not stronger than a little bit more than 10,000 of strength. However, then we're getting the situation with Luffy, and this is much clearer. Minimum strength, yeah? He was told on the transporter snail that all demon guards were defeated. And what was his reaction? He was calmly going there. He said, hang on there, I'm gonna be there in a moment, I'm gonna deal with it. So, means the perception of his strength is at the similar level or even higher, actually even higher than the demon guards. And this is exactly why I'm gonna give him minimum strength as an average of a demon guard, which is 2,000. In case of his maximum strength, now we're finally going to the Luffy side, and Luffy base has stand no chance with him. You can skip a whole Luffy base thing because he eventually went Gear 2 to beat him up, but then every single punch from Gear 2 landed, but not defeated him. And now the question is that actually a plot armor or not? I do believe there was a plot armor for Hannyabal, clearly. How I'm gonna treat that? I'm gonna treat that Luffy cannot beat, Luffy Gear 2 of course, cannot beat Hannyabal with a one punch. However, going to the second part of the rule when we cannot apply any of the rules, Hannyabal maximum strength will be either minimum, maximum or average strength of Luffy, because we can easily say Luffy Gear 2 have him beat. And what was the Gear 2 stand for Luffy? Luffy was unscathed. Luffy was turning off Gear 2 because he was thinking it's alright. Okay, he stand up, Gear 2, bang, one punch, going back down to his base. So what I'm thinking here, Hannyabal cannot exceed minimum strength of Luffy. I'm sorry for you, Hannyabal, but your maximum strength is gonna be 4,000 strong. And that gives average of 3,000 strength. And that's gonna be the case closed. He is still stronger than Minotaurus, clearly. Looks like he cannot beat any of the demon guards with one punch. Questionable, but hey, we didn't saw it as much. Let's go to another tree. Another three characters will be heavy hitters, because it's Impel Down, we have massive characters here. So we're gonna start with a Sadi-chan, the leader of the demon guards. We're gonna go then to Emporio Ivankov, yes, the Eva-chan, which Bonkley wants to save it. And then we're scaling Jinbe, one of the warlords. Ladies and gents, full justification. Sadi-chan will be the weakest out of those three, I do believe, and you probably guessed it as well. And yeah, her minimum strength will be the average strength of the strongest demon guards. I think nobody will disagree with that. So minimum strength for Sadi will be 2025. Easy. And in case of maximum strength of Sadi-chan, and here I need to be careful actually, because Sadi-chan, even though she is a leader of the demon guards, I do believe she is below the Hannyabal. Based on what I've seen, how she developed the attacks when she was using only the whip, not really named attacks and not really significant attacks, she's just using the whips, that's all. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna give her maximum strength of average strength of Hannyabal, which is 3,000. And that gives average strength, ladies and gents, of 2,513. That's gonna be case closed. Ivankov, surprisingly, I was really thinking why Ivankov is dealing with Magellan, to be honest, because we're getting a Jinbe, we're getting a Crocodile. Okay, they mainly focusing on escaping the Impel Down, where Ivankov was simply enjoying the Impel Down on level 5.5. And yet, he or she was the one who tried to stop Magellan. Why? Why is that? Is it because she might be the strongest out of all of them? Let's find out. So, her minimum strength, obviously we go into her spar with Sadi-chan. This is a very weird, wacky and confusing one, but listen me carefully, I think I've got this. Firstly, he turned himself into a woman. Significant portion because even though he was using a named attack, it was on himself. I do believe because of that attack, he stopped fighting seriously and he started fighting not seriously. That means he won with her without fighting seriously, that gives 10 times stronger. And Sadi-chan is 2513, 10 times stronger will be 25 bloody thousand strong. And that's gonna be top 1 already in our ranking. However, because he was using that name attack when turning himself into the woman, which is not really explained fully, which means that was kind of serious attack, serious move, because was using his devil fruit. So based on that, I'm gonna divide that strength by 2 because of the serious movement. He could win with her not fighting seriously with his previous form. That's the question mark here. He definitely can win, but is he can win without fighting seriously? Possibly even as well. However, he didn't do that, and that was for a reason. So I'm gonna divide that 25,000 by 2 as a handicap, because he chooses to. That gives minimum strength of 12,000 something, we're gonna see it later on. And in case of maximum strength, yes, I could say those 25,000 will be actually the case, because he won and there's no need for any division, and because, you know, that will be his maximum strength, because he cannot exceed that, because he have to use his hormones, his devil fruit. However, there is a better justification just to avoid that scenario at all. It's gonna be Crocodile. It's gonna be Crocodile because this is only theoretical how, because we cannot see that, so I'm gonna kind of risk it here, but that narrowed down the range actually, because it's not gonna be 25,000 anymore. So what I'm talking here about is Ivankov having in check Crocodile, yes? But having in check in Crocodile in case of his past, that he know his past, he using trickery here to keep Crocodile in check. Why Ivankov is going to the trickery, all of that, if he is that strong that we can Crocodile can fear her, but that's not the case. That's where I'm going to, because Crocodile is a strong fighter. Without doubt, he is one of the 7 warlords. So if Ivankov would be actually 25,000 strong, and that means his maximum strength will allow him at certain point, obviously depending on the circumstances, to one-shot Crocodile. And if that's the case, if Ivankov could actually one-shot Crocodile, he will not have to go to the trickery to keep Crocodile in check. Means he is not twice stronger than Crocodile. So I'm gonna shrink down the maximum strength actually of Eva, as he cannot beat Crocodile with a one punch. And I think that's fair, because Crocodile is a serious threat anyway. So Crocodile having 11,530 as average strength gives Ivankov 23,120 for his maximum strength. And that gives, ladies and gents, I think finally I can stop here. I know it's gonna be crazy amount of strength, and this is why I couldn't even believe when I justified that, because it's ending up, ladies and gents, as 17,812 bloody strength. And that's a lot, seriously a lot. So that means that the pure strength, obviously Crocodile have his devil fruit to avoid the attacks, which makes him difficult, which makes that Eva will struggle, maybe even lose to Crocodile, I don't know. The strength output of Ivankov when he was going seriously with Magellan later on, for example, was at 17, almost 18,000 strong. And now I kind of can understand why that was Ivankov to face Magellan, then Crocodile. Okay, Ivankov will have some kind of, you know, downside that she is or he is not a Logia, where Crocodile could avoid it, but it's definitely stronger, so he could inflict possibly more damage. So Emporio Ivankov, hell strong, 17,812. Case closed. Jinbe. Jinbe, one of your favorite characters, I don't know why, but that's what we're getting here. So, his performance was pretty crucial, was the same kind of performance what Crocodile does. Means, Jinbe's minimum strength is 4000 strength, as he can beat one of the demon guards with a one punch. Easy, fighting seriously, yes, minimum strength 4000. In case of maximum strength, that he will not beat those demon guards without fighting seriously. Means he is not stronger than 20,000. The same applies for Crocodile, however, Crocodile have already narrowed the range because Crocodile have 7,000 minimum strength, which is higher than 4,000, and 16,000 maximum strength, which is lower than 20,000, which is way more accurate. Which means Jinbe has to still undergo certain updates to narrow down, to shrink down his range. For now, he is, ladies and gents, 12,000 strong. And I have to say here, case closed. Whew, that was the heavy hitters. Let's go to the final three with a small asterisk. So, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna speak now about Marshall D. Teach, the Blackbeard itself, because we finally had some confrontation of him with Luffy, yes? Then we're gonna go to the Portuguese D. Ace, yes, the Fire Fist Ace, easily, because if we're gonna know Blackbeard's strength, we're gonna easily justify Ace strength. It's gonna be here and now. The asterisk now, it's popping in, and this is Dragon, ladies and gents. We're gonna have another grasp of Dragon, and finally we're gonna go to the man itself. I justified it very wrong in the last episode. Magellan, yes, because I'm talking about him, fought with Ivankov. Let's dive in. So yes, Marshall D. Teach, it's gonna be extremely easy according to our rules, all justified. It's gonna be very nice and smooth. Minimum strength, so I'm gonna go here with not fighting seriously mode, so still in a rule, because I do believe Blackbeard without fighting seriously can win with base Luffy. And why I'm saying that? Because when Luffy went Gear 2, obviously fighting him, when Blackbeard uses his Devil Fruit to neutralize the Gear 2 and go and having simply Luffy base, one attack made him already quite bleed, and Luffy felt it. So that means more of those attacks, and looks like Luffy cannot deal with that, because every time he will go to Gear 2. He will drop down to Gear 1. And this is not a serious attack of Blackbeard, because he also have attacks, different attacks, where he can use his potential Devil Fruit. Even though in most cases his Devil Fruit is almost to nullify the other Devil Fruits. So it's not really increasing his normal strength. But let's go back to the numbers. Blackbeard can win with Luffy, not fighting seriously. Luffy base, of course, that's it. That means the Blackbeard is at least 10 times stronger than Luffy base. And Luffy base is 706, means Blackbeard's minimum strength is 7060 strength. And in case of his maximum strength, that's even easier, because if we already justified he can win without fighting seriously, we already seen another feat, which means he cannot win with Luffy base with a one punch, not fighting seriously, because he make him bleed Luffy were standing. That means his maximum strength is gonna be 20 times Luffy base. As simple as that. If I just knew it up front, that would be so simple and easy. Maximum strength of Blackbeard is gonna be 14,120, because I'm using average strength of Luffy. Blackbeard doesn't have super ease in fighting that, and he also doesn't have to try super hard, so we're going exactly in the middle average strength. So overall, Blackbeard's strength is gonna be 10,590, and that's, ladies and gents, gonna be case closed. Fun fact, 10 times stronger than Smoke. Because Smoker is exactly 1059. Next is the one, the brother, the Portas, the Ace, Fire Fist Ace. Yes, his minimum strength was similar to Smoker's strength, which is 1059. Yes, however, of course, because we saw how he fought with Blackbeard, we're gonna justify it easily. But it's gonna be completely different than you are thinking, to be honest. Because His minimum strength, how we gonna approach his minimum strength? Ace was attacking, was using his Devil Fruit, he's going all out, serious attack, serious mode, and he was using his fire attack almost all the time. Which means Blackbeard always took this attack like a man, and he was really struggling. If not to his Devil Fruit powers to nullify the flames within, I think, his body, he probably will pass out and Ace would win with a one punch. But because Blackbeard could nullify that fire attack, still after that he was shaking, he was shivering, he was really having a tough time get back to himself. Simply based on that, we are justifying here the strength, not who won the fight, who lost the fight, who is a better guy, who have better technique. We know that Blackbeard best Ace, clearly, but I'm talking here about strength. Blackbeard's Devil Fruit not really giving him strength. We saw the black hole, not really a decent fit, not really Ace was in the face as well. The only thing was the nullifying the effects of the Devil Fruit. That is the main thing, but it's not improving his strength, which is why I'm gonna put Ace minimum strength as Ace would win the fight with a Blackbeard. Because if Blackbeard would not be able to nullify those flames, he literally losing the fight. And also don't forget that Ace is a higher up in his pirate crew, in their pirate crew, the Whitebird pirates crew. So Blackbeard in his strength was not good enough to be one of the captains of the division captains, whatever you call that. He was underneath. In a fair 1v1 fight, I'm saying Ace is winning if Blackbeard cannot nullify the flames. Minimum strength of Ace, 10,590. I'm saying Ace is stronger. So in case of maximum strength of Ace, how we gonna justify that? And I'm gonna treat exactly the same thing. I'm even having that in my head that when he was using those lances, when Blackbeard caught it here and nullified it, if he would not nullify it, he loses within one punch. So I'm gonna use the first rule that Ace cannot beat Blackbeard with a one punch. So maximum strength of Ace is definitely applying the first rule that Ace cannot beat Blackbeard with a one punch. However, Blackbeard really has to help himself with nullifying the attack. I'm gonna use maximum strength of Blackbeard for this particular occasion. That gives maximum strength of Ace 28,240, which is damn good. Yes, so in average, Ace strength is 19,415. And ladies and gents, that's case closed. And yes, I'm treating Ace above Blackbeard even though he loses the fight, because this is not comparison who is a better fighter who can win the fight. It's talking about the strength. And now it's a small asterisk. Monkey D Dragon, I'm not gonna have it here, it's just quickly small asterisk. His minimum strength was kind of judge of Smoker and Aces, simply because Monkey D Dragon, when in East Blue in Looktown back then, he stopped Smoker simply by using his speech, his words. Okay, he grabbed the weapon at one point, but that was, just grabbing the weapon. When Ace in Alabasta tried to stop Smoker to save technically Luffy, then he uses serious attack to fool Smoker to get away. So basically both of them accomplished the same feat. Dragon just used words and Ace has to go serious mode with a serious attack, which is why I was judging Monkey D Dragon above Ace. In this scenario, where we already have justified strength of Ace, it's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky because the strength is so big that for me, it is way too risky to give Dragon's minimum strength as 19,415. He might be stronger than Ace, but we don't know the margin how much. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna give Dragon a pretty significant boost, because I'm gonna give Dragon minimum strength only, because we don't know the full capacity of Dragon, as exactly as minimum strength of Ace, which makes Dragon already 10 times stronger than he was was previously justified. And now, finally, let's go to the Magellan itself. So I'm not gonna put his previous range, what he has, because I was fooled. I was literally fooled because of simply plot twist. Plot twist, plot armor, whatever you wanna call it, because he's the main character. He cannot lose and he always will get up, doesn't matter what kind of punch he's gonna get. Unless he's facing Kizaru. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Blackbeard again, because Magellan also faced Blackbeard, and you know where I'm going to, isn't it? He won with a Blackbeard, because Blackbeard even admitted that if without Shiryu, they all would be done for if they will not get antidote, which means, and that's easy, isn't it? First rule, winning with a one punch, because that was one move, it's serious though, so he was fighting seriously there. He beat up Blackbeard, basically means he is at least twice stronger than Blackbeard. However, there is also another asterisk here. Means that wasn't only Blackbeard, and that was he was taking in the whole entire crew of Blackbeard. So what I just did, I just take Blackbeard's strength, I just took the other remaining one's minimum strength, add them in, and multiply that by 2, because he won with all of them with one punch, giving 21,758 minimum bloody strength. Amazingly strong, don't you think? And for a long time I was thinking, okay, a maximum strength is not really able to justify, because I don't want to be screwing up stuff, and I was thinking to leave you guys to the comment to what do you think about their maximum strength. Still, if you agree or disagree, let me know in a comment, because this is very important for me. Also, if you have new characters or characters which I missed and you want them to be justified, just also let me know in a comment, especially in this video, so that I will have a good reference for the next video. I will just quickly, before making the next video, I will just grab all the comment section in here and then plug those characters which are missing to the next power level update. So definitely, if you have some characters in mind, link it in a comment, hashtag that character, and yes, next video they are coming. So let's go back to maximum strength of Magellan. We're gonna go straight to Ivankov. Some people will say, accordingly to my rules that I previously doing, that he was off screen, but not really, because the fight was actually shown in most of it when Eva was using his best move. I do believe those. I don't remember the attack. And let me know in the comment if what was the name of the attack. He beat Eva, okay? He also wasn't using his red poison, but I do believe the time to quickly make it on time is not adequate, and Eva could run away or give him a significant blow. It requires time, which probably he assesses he doesn't have enough time to go that far. Eventually he got it as a one punch and Eva was down, but again it's gonna be the same scenario as Blackbeard when faced Ace. Eva was applying his hormones, healing hormones, and was able to survive this poison. And so those hormones was basically the last call for Eva. I'm gonna give Magellan maximum strength as twice as much Ivankov maximum strength. The overwhelming 46,120, and that's the very first time we're going through 40,000. We never had any maximum strength which will exceed 40,000. I think the higher was 33,000. So this is the first time maximum strength is going too high, super high, and I'm really kind of worried here that I'm gonna overextend the range, but let's go with it, because I know you guys are saying that he is so strong, so thanks to you, I'm kind of can take that kind of a risk, giving him quite a big range, and that gives Magellan average strength as 33,939, and yes, that's even higher than the highest maximum strength before given. You know what's gonna happen now. So let's check how they do all of the characters in the rankings. So there we are, we're starting from Laki, as Vivi and Mr. 7 is not in the lead, because Vivi and Mr. 7's strength weren't changed. So we're starting from Laki, 165 strength, give her position 141. Yes, so she is technically stronger than Yasoppo, but Yasoppo we're gonna skip here. She is like Duval level or Kurobi. Is pretty significant feat to get actually. They are quite warriors, yes. He is exactly as Sky Knight. Gunfall, okay. Gunfall probably has his mantra, so yeah, that's why she will be above her, yes. And probably will win with a stronger opponent, but in case of the pure strength, they are on similar level, almost getting the Grand Line Monster title. Next we're having Demon Guards, Sadi-chan and Hannyabal. Pretty much the same kind of strength. Okay, within 1000, it is pretty significant though. They are getting all of the Grand Line Monster title, faster than a bullet title and stronger than a steel title. 3 titles out from the bat for all of the characters. Demon Guards with a strength of 2000 is positioned within top 50 already, 48 placement. Just above Zombie Ryuma, with a 5% stronger than him. And Capon Beji, sadly Capon Beji has no full strength justified. Okay, above them is Minotaurus, possibly the stronger out of the Demon Guards, and then we're getting Sadi-chan straight away, 2500. It is pretty significant jump here, because 500 is literally what, 20%, maybe 20 or even 25%? Pretty big advantage over everybody who is below her. Except they having some kind of crazy devil fruits, crazy feats, something like that. Then we're having Janbart. So Sadi actually is very similar strength to Janbart as we see. Probably like 3% strength difference. I don't know if Janbart has being vice captain of a low pirate or no. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Above Janbart is obviously Hannyabal with a 3000 strength, exactly almost the same, like what, 2% stronger than Hannyabal is Bonnie. So yeah, they are pretty similar with strength, and just above them are CP9, the heavy hitter CP9 like Kaku and Jabra. And you know, below them we all know about it. So this is kind of placement of them. All of them within top 50 is pretty good stuff. Another characters which is in the list will be a Blackbeard straight away, Marshall D. Teach. On top of all of the titles what previous characters got, he also getting the Seeking level character. Means he can travel basically through the Campbell with ease, that any kind of obstruction, any monsters appearing, he can basically deal with that simply because his strength, as well as Monkey D. Dragon, our Asterix, who having minimum strength exactly as Blackbeard. So they are placed in the top 15 already. Blackbeard position 15 and Dragon position 14. If we want to compare their strength, the Dragon's minimum strength or Blackbeard strength will be kind of OR's level from the Thriller Bark. Yeah, and that is pretty damn good feat. They are possibly like 4% stronger than ours, but that's not giving him too big of an advantage. Or simply Monkey D. Luffy Gear 3 is 5% stronger. So yeah, their hits are pretty tough. Also, what I want to say, with that kind of strength, they can win without ease. Obviously not one punch, but they can win without fighting seriously, ladies and gents, with Smoker. Based on the strength though, because if you cannot hit Smoker because he's smoke, that's your problem. Getting slowly to the highest characters. Next in the line is Crocodile as well as Jinbe, back-to-back positions. They are just slightly above Blackbeard and Monkey D. Dragon because they are positioned 10th and 11th. Are we getting to the top 10 characters? And yeah, 11,530 Crocodile doesn't change, and Jinbe 12,000. Alright, Jinbe's strength is justified exactly for the same thing what Crocodile did. However, Crocodile show us more, so we can more justify his strength, because all of what they did is just delete the demon card. So they are technically above the Blackbeard as it's shown. I'm gonna skip Monkey D. Dragon because that's his minimum strength. There is also full power of X-Drake, he is below them. I'm gonna skip Don Quixote do Flamingo, who is 12 because, you know, it's only his minimum strength, sadly. So yeah, Jinbe getting opening the door for the ladies and gents, top 10! Above Jinbe, we're getting one of the admirals, still quite a lot of unjustified characters, which is Kuzan, which is Aokiji, 14,120. minimum strength. But then we're having Kuma, Bartholomew Kuma, one of the warlords, and followed by position number 7, Hawkeye. Hawk at strength of 16,000. Again, his minimum strength. The top dogs is really don't want to show too much of their, strength, to be honest. And yeah, but Mihawk dropped. Mihawk was the character who was having a top 1 for the significant big chunk of the time, and now he is position 7. He was pushed pretty heavily down. Then we're getting Nightmare Luffy, who is position 6. Number 5, we're getting, ladies and gents, Ivankov. Yes, he is he's opening top 5. Ivankov with a strength of 17,812. I just want to quick asterisk here that Ivankov minimum strength is actually still lower than the Admiral Aokiji and Hawkeye Mihawk. So both of them are predictably going above Ivankov. So if they're gonna fight between themselves, I would say Ivankov is on the losing position, simply because their minimum strength. Because with somebody have only minimum strength, I try to compare their minimum strengths. Then we're having Ace in position number 4. Pretty big jump in strength actually than Ivankov, almost 2,000 stronger more. That gives 10% stronger Ace. So Ace having a pretty big jump of Ivankov, and Ivankov will have a really hard time facing Ace. And Ace is the one caught and on the execution, so he is a big fish, as we see. Top 4 is not easy to achieve that kind of strength, and he's almost getting to 20,000 strong, ladies and gents. This is big. In the position number 3, we're having another character who have a pretty long streak on the position 1, which is the Enel, with a strength of 21,600. Sadly, he was pushed down by Kizaru and Atshabonde with a minimum strength higher than Enel's average 23,000 strength of Kizaru. And then top 1, finally making his debut, I do believe finally I justified him correctly, is the Warden Magellan with an outstanding 33,000, almost 34,000 strength, top 1. How long he's gonna be on top 1, we're gonna see. It is a pretty tough spot to beat because number 2 Kizaru, okay, it is his minimum strength, but it's 10,000 lower, and that's 30% lower. On the other side, I just must say that Kizaru's minimum strength is actually higher than Magellan's minimum strength, so things might be twisted sooner or later when Kizaru shows something. We're still having Rayleigh unjustified, I know that, but it is simply not enough to justify that character yet. And he would probably be even top 5, I would guess, because he was standing against Kizaru, so he must be similar to Kizaru. So based on the strength, we can pretty much say that Magellan can beat even Nightmare Luffy, but Nightmare Luffy with a 1 punch, with his poison. So from number 6 below, we might have an easy win. So it's not many characters actually who can face Magellan and having a fair fight. I'm talking about fair fight. Now when I'm thinking all of the top characters, even Ace, why Ace is below Magellan, well, some of you will think, when Ace will burn some of the poison can change it to the gas, and if the burn can beat Magellan, okay, but the gas will beat Ace as well, so it will be at least even. If Magellan can survive, that means he wins, right? And Magellan won with Ivankov, so obviously he is above her in pretty almost twice as much, right? Enel. In case of Enel, because we have no recollection to Enel, so it's good to compare those characters. So Magellan and Enel will be pretty tough. I would say I will still give advantage to Enel in case of a fight, because okay, pure strength looks like poison is way stronger, and the maximum strength of Enel is pretty telling because it was a pure number given in anime, so that is the strength of electricity. Do I overestimate Magellan's poison? I don't know. I know Magellan have different kind of poison, so if one is not enough, he will mix up. Yeah, Magellan is Magellan is a beast without a doubt. Yeah, if Magellan will face Enel, it's hard. I think it is possibly who will strike first, so it's mostly matter of the speed, and I do believe in case of speed I will have to give it to Enel. That's why I'm thinking Enel will actually win the fight with Magellan, even though Enel's punches, Enel's devil fruit attacks are technically weaker than Magellan, but I do believe this fight will be like who connects first, because their attacks are pretty deadly. Yeah. In case of Bartholomew Kuma, which I'm not seeing here and I have full justification, so he is actually below Ivankov and Ace with the new characters justified. And yeah, they're really still on a similar level because Ivankov is just probably like 10-20, between 10 and 20% stronger, and between 20 and 30% stronger Ace is, but Ace will have I think Ace being a Logia will make a difference actually here in fight with Kuma, so Ace will definitely be above Kuma in my common sense, theory speaking. Yeah, Enel and Ace would be actually pretty fine spot. I think would be more interesting fight than Enel versus Magellan, simply because I'm not seeing Magellan being fast. I don't know how fast attack was him when he was attacking Blackbeard, because Blackbeard is not slow as well. So, and Blackbeard was holding with the Ace in case of speed. You know, Magellan might not be, even though it gives me a vibe that he's kind of slow because he needs to use those Venom roads to go faster, I do believe, or go in a area where he cannot reach, which thinks he might be simply slow, but Venom Road might be also fast, so it is anything can happen. So let me know in a comment the characters which you want me to add to the power level section. Let me know what do you think this time on the Magellan. Do I overstepped this time? Let me know in a comment. Also, what do you think about my top 10 list? Jinbe being 10, Aokiji being 9, Kuma being 8, then Mihawk being 7, Laki 7, and 6 belongs to Nightmare Luffy, 5 is Ivankov, 4th is obviously Ace, 3rd is Enel, Kizaru number 2, and number 1 Magellan, obviously with the asterisk on Kizaru and Mihawk and Aokiji because they have only minimum strength justified, so they will be probably going up. But above the rest, let me know in a comment, share it with others, don't forget to like and subscribe. I probably didn't ask you, I must ask you again, and see you later in another video. Ciao ciao.